Hi again, welcome back to another video. On the channel I have already several videos about installing Arch Linux or other distributions on VirtualBox, but on this one I'm going to show you actually how to install VirtualBox on Arch Linux. And I'm going to follow the Arch Wiki because there are some options that you might not be aware of. So let's get going and let's install VirtualBox on Arch Linux following the Arch Wiki. Hey guys, welcome back to my desktop. As you can see, I'm still on GNOME actually. I was planning to move my main machine to a window manager, but I really didn't have the time to do that yet. So I'm still on GNOME, but I will definitely move on in the coming weeks or probably months. I'm not sure yet. It's kind of a busy period. There's a lot going on right now. So I have videos on the channel where I showed you how you can install Arch Linux on VirtualBox. Well, in this one, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to show you how you can install VirtualBox in Arch Linux because it includes several steps that you might not be aware of. And I'm going to show you in this video how you can install it on Arch and then how you can start actually the installation of Arch Linux on VirtualBox by using certain settings. So let me close this terminal up and pull up our Arch Wiki, which is already here. I already prepared this for you guys. So this wiki is basically built in two parts. So we have installation steps for Arch Linux hosts and installation steps for Arch Linux guests. So in this video, we're going to look at the Linux host. So as you can see here, we have several steps we need to actually do. So a few things to be careful. The first one, we need to install the VirtualBox package. That's the one we need. And we need to be careful which one we want to choose because as it says down here, if you're using the Linux kernel, which is the latest kernel that I have actually also installed in this machine, we need to install the VirtualBox host modules Arch package. For any other kernel, including the LTS kernel, we need to choose the VirtualBox host DKMS package. So just to be aware, you need to install one of these two depending on which kernel you are using in your machine. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's pull up here a terminal. And I'm going to increase the font size here so that you can see better. There you go. And let me move this window out of the way here. Don't worry, I will leave the link to it in the video description below. So let's go ahead and install the VirtualBox package. So you can use the pacman package manager to do that. So we can type in sudo pacman-s and then VirtualBox and then hit enter. We need to enter the sudo password. And as you can see here, we have two repositories. Now, as I said before, if you're using the Linux kernel, the normal Linux kernel, or the latest Linux kernel, we need to choose the repository number 2, VirtualBox host modules Arch. If you're using any other kernel, including the LTS or any other kernel you might be using, we need to then select the default, which is the number 1. In my case, I have the Linux kernel, which is the latest kernel, so I'm going to select the number 2 and then proceed. Now, as you can see, we are installing this package plus the VirtualBox package, so we can proceed with the installation. This shouldn't take too long. It should take just a couple of seconds as there are only two packages. There you go. And now we can clean up the terminal. Now, VirtualBox is installed, but it's not yet working because the module is not loaded into memory. Now, to do this, we could reboot the machine, then the module would be loaded automatically, or if you don't want to actually reboot the machine, we can type in sudo modprobe and then vbox, drv for VirtualBox driver, and hit enter. And now the module is loaded into memory and we can use VirtualBox. So let me pull over again the wiki here. So we just proceeded to do this step here, which is enabling the module for VirtualBox. Now, the next step is accessing host USB devices in the guest machine. So what we need to do here, we need to basically give the user that we are using on our machine, where we are using VirtualBox, we need to make this user member of the VBox users group. So let's do that very quickly. Let me move this window here away. To do this, we can type in sudo usermod for modifying the user, and then -a capital G, because we want to append a supplementary group. If we don't use this, then we are going to give basically the user another group that is going to lose its original group. So the capital G is going to give the user a supplementary group, and the group you want to use is the VBox users. And the users that I want to assign this group to is me. So this is the only user I have, so I can just proceed then. And there you go. Now I have access to USB devices in the guest machines. Now let me pull over again the wiki and we go to the next step. The next step would be to install also the VirtualBox guest ISO package. So we need to install this and it will be saved under the user lib VirtualBox additions vbox guest addition.iso. Once we have this, and then once we installed a virtual machine, we can then mount this ISO in the virtual machine and install the guest additions in the guest machine, basically. So let's do that. Let's pull up here this window away and go back to the terminal, and let's type in sudo pacman-s, and the package is again virtualbox-guest-iso, and then proceed. Again, we can hit enter here, and the package is now installed. So what do we have next? Well, let's have a look here. So we could actually also enable or better said, download the extension pack. So as it says here, the Oracle extension pack provides additional features and is released under a non-free license only available for personal use. So with this package here, you have additional features. So we can click on the link here and it's going to tell you what this extension pack actually can be used for. Now you can read through the wiki here, and if you deem this useful for you, you can go ahead and install it, but just remember that this is a non-free license. Now this is actually all there is to it for Linux hosts. So let's close this window and let's close also the terminal. Now, I already downloaded the ISO for Arch, so it is here in my downloads folder. So what I want to do, I want to actually start up VirtualBox, and I'll pull it over here. And let's proceed and create a new machine, because I want to show you some things that you can do when you want to install Arch on VirtualBox. Now let's click New, and I will put the name here, Arch. It's going to be selected automatically Arch Linux 64-bit. Here you can select the folder where you want to save the VM. I'm going to delete actually these VMs here. VirtualBox for me is fine. And then click Next. I'm going to define how much RAM I want this machine to use. So I'm going to go here for 8 gigabytes because this is my main machine. Of course, you will need to adjust this accordingly to how much RAM you have. And then I click Next. I'm going to go here for Create a Virtual Disk Now and click Create. And I'm going to accept VDI here. So I'm just going to hit Next. And dynamically allocated is going to be also fine. I'm just going to increase this to, let's say, 32 gigabytes to make it a little bit larger and click Create. Now, a few things to keep in mind here when you configure your machine. Now, let's go under Settings. So the first one that we want to check out is the System tab. And if you're planning actually to have an EFI machine, you will need to enable this Enable EFI option. This is something I've seen many times in the comments of some of the videos I did with VirtualBox. When you guys get an error, the EFI variables are not enabled in the system. That's because this option actually was not active. So if you want to install on a UEFI machine, for example, if you want to practice installing on a UEFI machine, well, you need to have a mandatory EFI partition, you will have to enable this option. And then under processor here, we can select how many processor we want this machine to use. I'm going to go for 4, and I will leave the rest as it is. Now for display, what I normally do, I'm going to bump up this to the max. And I will leave for now the graphics controller to VM-SVGA. And then I will go to storage here and I will click on the controller, on the IDE controller, and click on empty. And I'm going to select the button here to basically attach my ISO. Now I see it already here, but if you don't, you can go to choose create a virtual disk and then click add and search for the ISO and click choose and you will have your ISO attached. Let me do this again here from the list. And then I will click OK. So for now, this is actually done. So we can click start and let's see what happens here. Well, I need to use this ISO, so I'll just click start. And as you can see here, we have our grub bootloader. Now I will go full screen by hitting Control F, which is the default keystroke for going full screen in VirtualBox. And I get a warning here that if I do this, I will need to press again the same key binding to go back to normal mode, let's say. So I can just click switch. And now we are in full screen. So I clicked again in the virtual machine, and as it says here, you have clicked the mouse inside the virtual machine. So basically the virtual machine will capture my mouse, and if I need to release it, I need to hit the right control key. That's fine for me. So let's see what happens now if I hit enter here and proceed with the installation of Arch Linux. I'm not going to install the system here. I just want to show you what's happening when we boot the machine. Now, when you're installing Arch Linux on a UEFI system here on VirtualBox, it might take some time actually for the machine to start. So if you see a black screen, just be patient. Eventually the machine will start. So now the system is booting up, and we reached now the login prompt. So just let me have a look here. If I hit the right control key and free my mouse, I want to go down here to this bar, which offer us actually some options for the virtual machine. And if I click on the view button, you can see the auto detect resize guest display is actually not active. So even I'm full screen, I cannot use actually right now the full resolution of my display. So let's fix this. Let's power off the machine. So I'll type in here power off and proceed. And the machine is going to turn off. There you go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually go to settings and then again to display. And in my case, I'm going to actually select another graphics controller. Now I'm going to select VBox SVGA and watch what happens. I get an invalid settings detected here, and it tells me you should actually select the VM SVGA driver. But if I select this one, it's actually going to work fine. So in the Arch Wiki, it's actually stated that depending on the machine you're using, you might want to actually change the graphics controller from VM SVGA to VBox SVGA, or the other way around, as I said, depending on the machine. Now, I know on my machine, this one is working better, so I'm just going to select it and ignore this wording and click OK. Now, I'm going to start again the Arch ISO, and it's going to go directly in full screen here. And I want to hit here the up arrow key to stop the timer because I want to edit this line. So I want actually the installer to use now my full resolution. So I hit the E key here and go to the end of the line and type in here video equal 1920 per 1080. And then I can hit enter to proceed with the ISO. Now it's going to take a moment again to boot up the machine. Now, the machine starts to boot up again with a smaller resolution, but as you can see, as soon as it loads basically the driver, then it goes in full screen. And let's wait until we reach the login prompt. There you go. And I will release the mouse key because I want to have a look again here at the view options. And you can see now the auto resize guest display, it's enabled. And I can now use the full resolution. So what I can do, I can type in, for example, set font and then ter-132n. And I have my bigger fonts and I can do the installation as usual. So I just wanted to show you how you can do this because I know several of you guys are using VirtualBox to try out Arch Linux. And if you are frustrated that you cannot get a full resolution while you are installing actually Arch, this is one way on how you can actually have it full screen, and it's going to be much easier on your eyes. So let me power off this now. And there you go. So this is a brief overview on how you can install actually VirtualBox on Arch Linux and how you can configure it so that you can install Arch directly from a virtual machine. If you have questions about the video, let me know in the comments below, and as usual, I will try to answer you as soon as I can. So here we go. This is how we can install VirtualBox on Arch Linux. I hope it helped you guys to get a better picture on how you can use actually and install and use VirtualBox on Arch. And let me know in the comments below if you are using VirtualBox, what you think about it and how it's your experience installing it on Arch Linux. And if you have any questions about the video, let me also know in the comments below. I will always answer you as soon as I can. I hope also that you liked the video, guys. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and subs to the channel if you haven't already. Subs always helps me out. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so by visiting the Patreon website, or you can donate via PayPal through the website as well. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.